How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael Thurville, photojournalist and sociologist here at VEDA World News. Today we have a reoccurring guest running for judge right here in Harris County, Gonzales. Sir?
Hi, I'm Oscar Gonzales. I'm running for Lena Hidalgo's position. Just to be clear.
It's a fierce position that you're running for.
Yes, it is.
I mean, listen, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about that bail reform right here in Harris County. Crime. What's happening? What are you seeing? Are there any trends?
Crime is really bad. The murder-suicide rate is incredible. I think this week we had 2 occurrences of murder-suicide.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, where in Harris County?
I believe one might have been in Splendora and the other one was in Northwest Houston, if I recall correctly.
Is there any causation? Did anybody find out anything in discovery, anything like that?
No, it's just, it seems to be occurring almost weekly.
It does. And then you had those bodies being washed up in the bayou here. I mean, there's a lot of people. What's happening? Are they homeless? Is it suicide as well going on with the bayou situation? What's happening?
I don't have enough information to come in, draw any kind of conclusions, but there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Okay.
A lot of people are feeling stressed, bills, everything that's going on. I mean, the price of everything's gone up. Some things are 300%.
Yes, it has, man. And you have Christmas right around the corner. Thanksgiving, 2 weeks away or a week and a half away?
Right.
This is a time where a lot of people are feeling depressed.
Yes, depressed, anxious. Sometimes they feel like they're boxed in, and they really aren't. But we need to try to help them any way we can. But they have to speak up because there's tons of resources available. You can call the suicide hotline. That's a big resource right there, and they're 24 hours a day. But they got to reach out and look for help because even with the government shutdown, we were out collecting food and supplies to distribute all over the place. So, if you're feeling like that, reach out, talk to somebody. Don't go down that dark road because you don't hurt just yourself. You're hurting a whole lot of other people. Too. The murder-suicides, and I'll share this, when you have a family and murder-suicide happens, now you have all these orphaned children.
This is true.
And then, because children look at their parents as superheroes. And if my superhero did it, then it's the right thing to do. So what is that child going to do when they become an adult? They
Excellent
will repeat the same thing that happened to them. So that's why I try to impress upon people. If you're feeling like that, think about everybody else before you think about you. Because what's going to happen is if you're going to lay the precedents down.
Yes.
And if you do this, your children are going to do this, and look at all the people that you're affecting.
In a brief conversation that we had over the phone, you wanted to touch on domestic violence.
That is going crazy right now.
Is that a Harris County thing or is that a national thing? What's happening here?
It seems to be national.
Why?
You go back to the problems with money. Money's a big problem. Okay?
It is a big driver.
And then the prices of everything, utilities are going up, everything's going up, your wages are not going up.
This is also true.
Yeah. So it's very stressful. And so people act out and they lash out when they're stressed, they feel boxed in. But like I said, going back, there are a lot of resources. The churches, the mosques, the synagogues, I've seen them passing out food, helping, they've got resources. There's tons of resources available. And when you hear the politicians go, oh, well, if we give the police a raise, we cannot take care of the people. That's untrue. There are so many resources out there. It is incredible.
Let's ask a question. You touched on something with the raises and police officers. In your experience as a law enforcement officer, do police officers need more money? Is there a legitimate case for increasing the funds that law enforcement gets?
Yes.
Why?
How many of y'all go to work with the possibility of not going home.
Okay. Point well taken.
Death. There's been times whenever we were preparing for man-made threats. They told us, go home and get all your gear and get ready to go to war. I had to kiss my family goodbye, and I didn't know if I was coming back.
Okay.
Okay? How many people out there want that job?
What would you say to the people, after revealing that, what would you say to the people that said, hey, that's what you chose to do? As a volunteer, not necessarily as a draft, but a personal choice. What would you tell them?
You're not choosing to go die. You're choosing to go help people, and really it's a calling. Because ever since I was little, living in Fifth Ward, I always had the calling to go and become a peace officer in order to try to help people.
And I remember you saying that during that last conversation. I really do. And, you know, the same goes for EMT,
Yes.
Paramedics, firefighters.
Soldiers.
Yes, the same thing goes. So I think a lot of people, when they look at that money, they say, oh, man, this guy or this person is making $70,000, $80,000. I can barely get by, or whatever the case may be. But they don't feel like that person is warranted in getting that. And the mere fact that you brought up death, I think really kind of levels that playing field.
Absolutely. Well, okay, if you look at what police officers make as opposed to corporate America.
Oh, it's a huge difference. Huge difference. Yeah.
You don't become a cop, a firefighter, a military person, a EMT, or any of that, or a paramedic. You don't go into that field looking to become rich. You go into it because your moral compass says, I need to help people.
And there's something about service.
Yes.
Very much so. Switching gears on to the local level here in Houston Police Department. What are your thoughts and perspectives? Are these officers doing a good job?
I think they're doing the best job they can.
Okay.
I haven't had many instances where I ran into any kind of controversial situation.
Okay.
But I will share that there's a lot of great young motivated officers, but a lot of times they're missing the old salty officers like myself. Okay.
Salty.
Old salty and mean, okay?
I don't like the term salty. I don't mind folks calling folks old or saying that they're old, but salty is like, I don't know.
Okay, well, the older seasoned officers.
There we go. We like seasoned.
Well, seasoned, salty, pepper, Anyway, so the seasoned officers, a lot of them have left, and the young officers really need a lot of that experience. Okay. Because when you have a seasoned officer that's there, the younger ones can come and ask, hey, what about this? What about that? What do you think about this? And they can bounce it off of them. And older officers who are seasoned and trained and been there, done that, they can help the younger officers that don't have the experience. They got the training, but they don't have the experience.
And those are two different things.
Yes, absolutely.
So. In Harris County Jail, how's it looking?
We need more staff. So if anybody wants to become a jailer or anybody wants to turn into a peace officer, Harris County Sheriff's Department needs people to staff the jails because we need to open up more jail space because we need to put some of these people and keep them in jail.
I mean, seriously, man. I mean, it's a lot of people. Overcrowding is an issue. There were some deaths in the jail. Like, what's happening? Is it solely due to not having sufficient staff? And then what are the roadblocks that are keeping people from applying to be a jailer?
There's no roadblock to apply. Go in there and go for it. Because I did, okay?
Really? Okay.
Yes, I did, Pick up the phone, call Harris County, and find out where you apply.
For those that may be asking, what is the pay scale looking like for the jailer that's coming in fresh?
I'm not sure about the pay scale now, okay? Now, I'll share with you, when I started, the jailers were at the bottom of the totem pole, And the goal was that in order for you to start making better money, you had to go to the academy, and then you had to become a peace officer.
Okay.
So now they've changed it. They've done, I don't know if I agree with it. Now they have different staff levels of jailer. They got
Really?
captains, lieutenants,
Okay.
sergeants. So,
Chain of command.
yeah, they have a chain of command for the civilian jailers. Kind of like what they do at TDC.
TDC. Oh my God. Okay. I've worked for TDCJ. As a correctional officer, right here. For those that don't know what TDCJ is, it is the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I served as a correctional officer there. They have so many issues that I just couldn't even talk about right now, but I didn't want to take that light from you, sir.
Oh, that's okay. Well, in TDCJ, you have those different levels of jailers, right?
We do.
Okay. Well, they brought that to Harris County, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Why?
Well, as a jailer, you're a civilian white shirt. You didn't have a badge. Now they give them a badge, and now
Really?
sometimes, yeah. Now sometimes they get in trouble with that badge out on the streets.
What are they doing?
Well, they'll flash your badge sometimes, to get in a club or.
What?
Yeah, that's why it's a bad idea to give a civilian jailer a badge, in my opinion.
Are they not going through T-Code?
Yes, they do go through T-Cole.
So I'm quite sure someone in
No.
T-Code is telling them don't do this.
Probably so, but people are young, and we do dumb things when we're young, don't we?
I can understand that.
Yeah. So I would leave that out as a temptation and say, look, and it costs money. Why does a jailer need a badge? We didn't have badges.
Okay.
But we had an ID, said civilian jailer, and that's it. And so maybe it might be a good idea to get away from the civilian structure. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this, especially the jailers. But, back then, if you wanted to become an officer, that's where you made the money. You made better money than a jailer did. Some people chose to be jailers for their entire career.
Okay.
And
that's a special individual.
Right. Exactly. But the rest of us all wanted to be officers.
Okay.
So you'd go work in the jail, and depending on how fast the academy was running, you would migrate to the academy. You'd be paid while you're going to the academy, and when you came out, you were a certified officer.
Understood. Are there any restrictions on firearms that Harris County on that level can and cannot have?
When I went through, we had to buy our own.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is now. Some of the federal agencies, they have restrictions.
Really?
They actually issue the weapon to you.
Correct.
But with Harris County, it wasn't that way.
Okay.
Now, they might be going in that direction, but I'm not sure.
What do you prefer?
I'm old school.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with old
Because
school.
I'll share this with you. Whenever
Please.
I came out of the academy, I shot every gun that I could.
Okay.
And then finally, I said, okay, I think this is what I want. And I went to a local gun store. They're having a special, and they invited all the cadets out.
Right.
And I walked along, and I looked at all these boxes, and one just kind of called out to me.
And what was that?
It was a Colt 45,
Really?
Combat Elite.
Okay.
Okay? And it just, something about it, it just drew me to it. And it wasn't cheap, okay? And I was like, oh my God, I got to finance this thing. And we weren't making much money back then. So
Yeah.
it was a struggle.
Wow.
But, so I went, and I said, yeah, let me go ahead and get that one.
Do you
And-
still carry that one to this day?
Yes, I do.
Really?
But something about it, when I went to the range, the first round, and every round that thereafter was right on.
Okay.
So it fit me. It fit my hand. And it just sometimes you go looking at cars, one calls out to you, and it's just the right one for you.
You know what? I think this conversation is a great conversation to have because, again, you're running for political office, and I think this gives people an idea of who is the man behind the campaign. Going for Harris County judge. I mean, that is something, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular, hard-working guy with a long, lengthy background of helping people.
Understood.
Going on 38 years of doing things for other people.
Okay.
30 years in law enforcement, and 7 years after I retired, I'm still doing things. We're doing next week, we're doing a superhero adoption day downtown for all the kids in foster care.
Wow, that's a big deal.
30 families so far.
Okay.
That's a lot.
And there's a lot of children out there that need families.
Yes.
Especially this time of year.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Definitely. So, and it's a lot of work. And it does cost money. And it, it costs us money to do it.
Yeah.
But we do it because it's, when you see those smiling faces and you see those tears, if you go to that event next week, you're probably going to have a few tears too.
Wow.
And if you'd like to go, you're definitely invited.
And I do greatly appreciate that. Let me ask you, let's say you were elected.
Yes.
And you're sitting on that bench. What would be some of the hard line issues that you would say, hey, listen, this guy we got to lock up?
Well, it's not that kind of, county judge is like an administrator over commissioner's court. So we don't lock up anybody.
Okay.
We're like the managers. The county judge is kind of like the mayor of the county.
Understood.
Okay, so it's like the mayor of the city, it's the mayor of the county. The commissioners are like city councilmen, but they're for the county, so they call them county commissioners.
Because what got me was the word judge.
Right.
Because when we look at the word judge, we think black robes, this person is on the bench, and this gavel is coming down any second. That's what people think, and I thank you for clearing that up.
Right, so it's a big difference. County judge is the judge over commissioner's court, which is kind of the equivalent of city council and the mayor.
All right, so would you be formulating policies?
Yes, we administer and we pay for everything, and we approve everything or not approve everything.
Okay.
It goes on. All the infrastructure, the courts division, the sheriff's department, flood control, the hospital district. Those are the big ones.
Let's talk about flood control. What's happening there? Are there going to be any new projects, hopefully in the future, to help alleviate a lot of the flooding that happens here in Houston? What's happening there? What about zoning and cutting down some of these trees that are overgrowing?
The trees are being cut down.
Okay.
Because I went to a meeting and the CEO of Centerpoint was there, and he was talking all about the trees.
I mean, it's a big deal. Like some trees are like literally resting on the power lines.
Yeah, they're chopping down a bunch of those.
Okay.
And they're asking some of the residents, if they don't mind chopping down the whole tree, because they have to go back and chop it down next season. They got to trim them again.
What are the residents saying?
A lot of them say no.
Why?
Well, it's expensive, and they like their trees.
How much do they like their trees when their lights are not working?
They don't like them at all at that time.
If the president or the person in charge of Centerpoint saying, hey, I need you to cut down these trees, or we're going to cut down these trees, I don't think that they have the right to complain when a storm comes and then that same tree knocks down their line. I think they should pay for that.
Well, it's difficult because if you look at your insurance policy, it always has act of God or natural disaster.
But would it be an act of God if you had the opportunity to be proactive? It's not really an act of God at that point. An act of God is, for many people, all of a sudden. We didn't see this. We didn't know this tornado was coming. We just got a 5-minute warning, and we didn't know where it was going to touch down at. That's act of God.
What would be good, and I'm sure that we can probably look into this and figure it out. If there's a homeowner that knows a tree's a problem and they can't afford to get it cut down, maybe we can put something together and utilize, let's say some of the tree companies, they want to donate some of their time or whatever and trim or cut them down all the way for that homeowner.
What about fines and citations?
That's
does that work even?
No, it puts more burden on everybody.
Really?
Yeah, it does. I mean, think about it. You got a house, and you're barely making the note, and you got all these expenses, and everything's going up. You got a big tree, and they quote you $8,000 to cut the tree down. And can you afford it? Not everybody can.
This is true.
That's the key, because Used to, you could get somebody to cut down a tree for, $500, $800, maybe $1,500. Not anymore.
Well, everything's gone up. Like
Everything's gone up, and plus those guys, it's a dangerous job.
It is.
And so now they're in the thousands. So it's really difficult.
Will taxes be raised in Harris County?
That's a good question. As a matter of fact, I don't know if we talked about it last time, but remember they were arguing about on Commissioner's Court. There were all this hoopla about the police raises.
Yeah.
And if we give the police a raise, then we're going to have to cut out services for the public. Remember
Is
all
that a true statement?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, a couple of weeks after that, the hospital district came in, said, "Oh, we're in trouble. We need help." And Commissioner's Court went, "Oh, okay." They gave them a raise right then and there. They
Just like
went up
that.
on taxes right then. I don't know. Did you notice it? Did you see it on TV?
No.
It was there.
And the people didn't even have the opportunity to voice or say anything for or against that. How do you see that?
Well, the county has a lot to take care of. We have to make sure that every department is being managed correctly. When it's not managed correctly, then that's when you have problems, and then you have overruns and it costs more money, and then you have all these other issues that you got to pay for. So we got to look at the big picture. Where's the money coming in? Where are we wasting it on? And I noticed that if I'm correct, got to correct me because I didn't keep up with it tightly, but
Okay.
I believe $3 million was spent to paint murals in low-income areas.
Is that a good idea? Is it a morale thing? Is it a beautification project? How do you see that?
I see it as a beautification project, but I also see, to me, I believe we can bring in some partners like Home Depot, Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, one of the big corporations who wants to donate the paint, and then we can get with some local artists who are willing to utilize those free, the free material that we get, and support them, and then let them paint something beautiful that they submit. But for all the taxpayers to pay for it, foot the entire bill, just doesn't, that doesn't set good with me. How about you?
Honestly, I really don't care for the art.
Okay.
I as a Houston resident, I'm more focused on infrastructure.
Okay.
I want to see things work.
I agree.
As far as art, it's great, but to me, art belongs in a museum. Art could possibly go into a park, but to drive down the street and see this mural of whatever that may be, no matter how good it looks, to me really doesn't faze me. I'm not really impressed by that. I'm more of a practical kind of person where if that light is out on the street, because I just saw on one of the news stations here that people were complaining about the lights on the streets being out.
Right.
That poses a safety hazard.
Well, I'll add to that because I'm practical like you. I'd like to see all the lions painted on the street.
What are they doing all the time? You drive. Anybody who lives in Houston, Texas, and really just Texas in general, they're always working on the 45 expressway, the 610, the 5969. When they finish doing whatever they did to shut that particular thing down, it still looks the same. I don't recognize any difference on any expressway right here in Houston that TxDOT or whoever that is shutting down these lanes have done anything new. I don't see anything.
Well,
am I missing something? Is there something underneath the rubble that or the gravel? I don't know.
You know how long they've been working on 45?
How long?
Since World War II.
Get out of town. if that is not waste, fraud, and abuse, that's something.
You look at the future projects. You're supposed to plan out 5, 10, 20, 30 years.
And we can understand that.
And with the growth coming in, we really need to look further than what we're doing now, because when they opened 99 and I saw there was 2 lanes,
Mhm.
I already knew it wasn't big enough. But if they would built it 4 lanes on each side, somebody would complain and say, "Oh, why'd you build it so big?" Well, we built it for the future. Now they're having to expand it all over the place because it's too small.
And again, outside of just working and driving on the expressways, I, as a resident, would love to see the metro expanded, train lines. High speed trains is what I would really love to see. I would really love to see trains that go through to Spring, to the airports, the essential places people really need to go. And I say this because it's a commerce thing. If you can get to the Galleria from, let's say, South Houston, that's great. What about the people who would love to be able to take that train down to Galveston Beach?
We used to have a train going to Galveston Beach.
What happened?
They tore up all the lines. It used to go through the neighborhood back here.
Really?
Yes, I actually took a ride on that.
Really? Okay. What was that like for you at that time?
It was cool.
Really?
Yes.
You don't have to worry about the traffic.
No.
No accidents. It's a risk reduction factor that attracts me to something like that.
Well, it was an old train, so it had old cars.
Okay.
And they had food and drink and music.
Really?
Yeah, and you had seating.
See, that's a cultural thing. See,
Oh,
oh my
it
God.
was great, but nobody would ride it. I mean, the ridership was not high enough to sustain it.
Okay, what were the people's reasoning for not wanting to ride that?
I don't know. I mean, it was like a it was done for a company to go down there for a Christmas party. And so, yeah, so it was like a private.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it wasn't running all the time.
Okay.
But it did
Sometimes.
run on different schedules.
Okay.
But it was fantastic. You could get on there and have a bite to eat and a drink along the way and look everywhere. And you're going through people's backyards, literally, because it was
Really?
yeah, right over here off of Lockwood Navigation.
Okay.
Okay, back in there, you would get on it downtown, where the old train station used to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd board there, and then you just took off, and it was cool.
I'm looking at the trends. Younger people, we're talking your Generation Zs, Ys, or whatever they are now, and Alphas. They don't want to drive. They are not lining up to go to the DMV to go get driver's license. We have a young lady in this building right now who just graduated from high school. Her mom is probably here. She does not want to drive.
I don't blame her.
And she comes all the way from Spring to this station.
Yeah, mass transit has to be improved.
It does.
The problem we have here is it is so huge.
We talk, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know anything about Houston, Texas, we're looking at almost 650 square miles and growing.
Yes.
That is a lot of mileage to cover.
This region, if you look at it, I looked at the maps where the lights are at night. If you look at Dallas and Fort Worth and you look at Houston, Houston's almost as big as Dallas and Fort Worth together.
Really? So you being with the county, how big is Harris County?
Huge. It's the third largest county in the country.
Wow. Are we in the thousands? We got to be at least in the thousands as far as just square mileage for Harris County.
I forgot what the square mileage is, but the population is like 4.2 or 4.8
Oh, God.
million.
I mean, I just think about the connectivity.
Yeah.
And outside of just transportation, we're looking at energy. This is an energy hub. This country needs energy, and cheap energy at that, for artificial intelligence and everything else that we need. What is Harris County looking to do to help bolster more energy production?
There's some new electrical generating stations coming online.
Really?
Yes, there's some big ones coming online. They're building them right now.
Great.
And then I believe it's T.H. Wharton facility over at 249 in the Beltway.
Okay.
Is being expanded tremendously.
So what does that mean for Houston residents and Harris County residents?
Should be able to get electrical service as long as the lines don't go down. It should be improved electrical service. And when I was listening to the CenterPoint CEO, they're working really hard to put up stronger poles. They're getting away from the wood.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're using these gray steel, really wide.
And fiberglass.
Okay.
Not really fiberglass, carbon fiber.
Okay.
You know, they're going to that.
Are those brown ones people
Yes.
were complaining, but they didn't like?
Yes.
Look. Okay.
Don't like the way they look, but
Well, they
they're
work.
stronger than steel.
Very
And
good.
they can take the wind better, and they'll flex, but they won't break. Yeah.
Very good.
So and then they're trying to put the lines underground,
Okay.
because when they put the lines underground,
Secures them.
yes, and you don't have the issues that you have whenever they're up and trees fall on them.
Okay. Let's talk about the positives.
Okay.
Because Houston has a lot of positive things. And the one positive thing I know about Houston is food.
Ooh,
Let me ask
Lord.
you, we want to know the man behind the campaign. Okay? How do you feel about barbecue? Who has the best barbecue in the nation to you?
You making jokes about my weight, man?
No, because I don't mind being fat. I am fine with that. I'm fat.
Okay.
Okay, and I love to eat. I swear I love to eat.
All right.
Right?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Anyway,
no,
going back
we're
to you want to talk about barbecue?
Yes, barbecue. Who
Okay.
has the best barbecue to you?
Well, Burns Barbecue.
Okay.
You know where that is, right?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But I will try it because you said it.
I got a story about the owners and stuff like that, but I'll save it for another show.
Okay.
But Burns Barbecue is up there in it's off of North Shepherd. I'll get it in a minute.
Burns Barbecue, right?
Burns Barbecue.
Burns. Ladies and gentlemen, take it from him. He's saying it's good barbecue. If you're in Harris County, Houston, Texas, make sure you get down to Burns Barbecue.
Okay. And close to me, there's a place called, man, why am I drawing blanks here?
It's okay.
I had it on the tip of my tongue whenever you talk about barbecue. I was like, it's right there at Patton Street and Airline, right on the corner.
Okay.
It's called Pinkerton's.
Okay. Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Have you been to Pinkerton's?
I have not.
Okay. Well, I'll go back to Burns. Burns is good. It's real good. They opened a burger joint right next to the barbecue joint. And actually, the father, Steve Burns, his dad is the one that taught all of them how to cook and gave them the recipes.
Really?
Yes, so it is iconic, okay?
Okay.
So Burns is like a big family operation, and then Steve's sons were famous baseball players.
So this is where you're going to be mad at me.
What?
You may not want to come back on the show.
Why?
And I'm going to tell you something.
Uh-oh. I ain't gonna get mad at you.
I don't like Texas barbecue.
Really?
I don't.
Really?
Coming from Chicago,
Okay.
it's different. The Midwest barbecue is different. I'm not saying one is better than the other.
Okay.
I'm just saying I prefer sticky barbecue that's sweet and spread all over the place. Now, when I talk to somebody about that, they say that is not a Texas thing. You guys like to taste the actual meat. And they inform me that if you have to put barbecue sauce on barbecue, it's probably not good.
That's true.
I just cannot subscribe to that.
Okay, well, you know what you need to do? Go to Burns,
Okay.
try some there. Go to Pinkerton's
Okay.
and try some there. Because
I'm going to do a full
Pinkerton's,
review. I'm going to do a review.
yeah, Pinkerton's, the brisket
Okay.
is it's perfect.
Do you make brisket?
Yeah, I do, but if I do it regular, I get real good at it, but
Okay.
I haven't done it in a while, so
Okay.
I'm not as good right now. But Pinkerton's, supposedly, and I haven't gone there yet, but Truth Barbecue over on Washington and Shepherd,
Okay.
that place, according to what I've been told by my son who loves barbecue,
Okay.
he wants to go there and try it out. Now, for the barbecue, sometimes you can find a guy sitting on a corner with a tent with a little
And we see that very often here.
Oh my God! Sometimes you get the best barbecue in the
Really?
world. Yes, absolutely. Don't never doubt whenever you go by one of these little places. Like there's a pop-up shop in the north side coming up this Saturday.
Okay.
We went there, and the guy gave us a little sample of his pulled pork. Oh Lord, it was good.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take your word for that. I'm gonna check out Pinkertons. I'm gonna check out Burns.
Yeah.
I will most definitely do a food review and with video,
Yeah,
with
okay,
video,
good.
because I think that is the best way for people to really see what you're talking about.
And when you go up there, ask for Steve, see if he's
Steve.
still around. And his son's, I can't remember his son's name, but he was a famous baseball player. He's
Okay.
retired. And they've done very well. They started building houses.
Really?
Yeah, and helping people get into homes
Okay.
in a whole area.
Okay. When it comes to sports
It's
teams,
in Acres Homes.
Acres Homes.
Yes.
Okay, I know what that is.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports teams right here in Harris County,
Mm-hmm.
who do you like?
I like them all.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got a story.
Let's hear it.
My wife has a 59 Chevrolet Apache,
Okay.
and it's sitting on an 81 K10 frame, so it's jacked up in the air.
Okay.
It's orange, and so every time the Astros are doing real good,
Okay.
we put the magnets on the doors, we put the flags on the back, and we drive it around.
Really?
Yes,
A lot of looks, a lot of stares, a lot of pictures.
everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been in car shows. As a matter of fact, whenever they had the car show down at Minute Maid, which is now Daikin,
Yes.
they had a real high-end car show there. She was actually DJing out of the back of the truck.
Really?
And it was fully decked out with all the Astros gear. It was a hit.
Wow. Would love to see that.
Yeah, so,
You guys gonna do it again for this
Yeah.
season coming up?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you into the Dynamo Dash?
Oh, they're great. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, what was that? The football player everybody likes.
I was getting ready to say Messi.
No. That's the other kind of football.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me be very square with you. I shoot on the field for Dynamo Dash.
Oh, cool.
I do. I love what Americans call soccer. It's football for us.
Yeah.
But I love soccer, man, and I just wanted to get your take on that. I'm just tell you the truth. I did want to kind of get your take on that. But you like an NFL guy, like you like football, nothing wrong with that. American football is great. I didn't want to alienate anybody.
We like it all.
Okay.
Okay. And I got a story, funny story.
What's that?
We'd have friends come over,
Mhm.
and they'd look, the guys that come through the house, and they'd look up and see that big giant TV we have. They go, "Man, you're lucky that your wife will let you have that." I said, "What are you talking about? That's her TV."
Really?
They go, "What? What does she let you watch?" I said, "She don't let me watch nothing. She likes wrestling, football, baseball, boxing, racing, soccer. She watches it all, and she also likes action movies.
Really? What kind?
You name it."
Listen, I just today, about 15 minutes before you came,
Okay.
cut a review for Predator Badlands.
Ah,
I like it. It's
You know-
it's a little different.
Predator, the movie Prey,
Yeah.
that should have went to the big screen.
You think so?
Well, see, we got a lot of Native American heritage.
Okay.
Okay, and when we saw that, the fight
did
scenes
you
of that
feel about
girl, man, that was inspiring. I mean,
Really?
Did you see her fight scenes?
Yes, they were good.
Pay attention to how she'd spin around and take the legs out and all this.
Yeah.
She was, and it was raw, and it was very impressive.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I would take it that because the same director that directed Prey directed this latest installment. So I would tell you and everyone, go out there, give it a chance whenever you get an opportunity to. But I like it. It's just a little dark and contrasting in the beginning, but I don't want to give it away. I think you'll like it and appreciate it.
Now, is that a sequel to Prey?
No,
Oh.
actually, this is something totally different.
Okay.
I don't know if I should have in the article in the title, but I did mention DEI there.
Okay.
And it's not a negative thing in this aspect. I think diversity, equity, inclusion in this Predator franchise was actually done really good.
Okay.
It really was, and it's subjective. It's art. It's movies.
Well, I can't wait to see that, but I'm really waiting. And the wife too is to see a Prey sequel,
I think they're gonna do it.
because and I wish they would have released it on the big screen, because I would, if they put it on the big screen, they put Prey on the big screen, we're going to see it.
I will go see that too.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of the Predator series since I've a child. Predator, Terminator. I was in a classroom in North Carolina. They didn't know who the Terminator was. We talking third, fourth graders, sixth graders. They never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I
It's
had
because we're old.
let me tell you, I didn't feel old.
Yeah.
I felt inclined to tell them about it.
Oh, yeah.
How wonderful the franchise was.
Mm-hmm.
How long it's been around. Aliens. Like
Oh.
they see the reaction. See that's a good sign.
I was around to see Alien when it first came out.
What was that like? 1978 was it?
About, yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was scary,
Really?
impressive, because you've never seen, back then, you never saw laser sky with the fog. So
Okay.
when you saw that over the top of the eggs, you're like, and me coming from, liking all that kind of stuff, I was like, how did they do that? Because I'd never seen that before.
Okay.
And then the way the acid blood that's in the animals, where they could melt everything, you're like, oh my God, if this was real, we'd be in trouble.
Man, I would tell you, and I'm a little embarrassed, but I gotta tell you this. I'm 43. I didn't see the very first Terminator until I was 39.
Wow. But you like it.
I love it, and I when I looked at it, and I looked at the entire series of Terminator, I look at where we are physically right now, and I say, if that movie did not predict where we are.
Yep. It's something to worry about.
I am when I saw the latest RoboCop, I was afraid. I actually had to turn this particular film off because I had to question whether or not I would be comfortable with artificial intelligence and robots performing law enforcement duties. I mean, yes, does it seem like a good idea to pick out a wanted fugitive in a crowd of 2,000-3,000 people from facial recognition? It sounds good until it isn't. What do we do? What are your thoughts on that as a law enforcement professional?
You can't take the human out of it.
That's the same thing they said.
You can't. I mean, because, computers are computers, AI is AI, but there's something that humans have that's different. And because they're showing that sometimes they have mistakes made on AI facial recognition.
Yes.
And what I look at, have you seen iRobot?
Yes.
Okay. They've been playing with AI, and they've already found that once AI becomes self-aware, it starts talking to the other AI.
You are going to a deep rabbit hole here.
Yeah. And they discuss things, and they can compute things at a rate that we can't. And they can kind of figure out where we're going to go before we do. And they're real smart, because if you've seen the study where they've connected AI to your Wi-Fi modem, and they can tell, AI can figure out how many people are in the room by using the Wi-Fi modem, even though you don't have a cell phone on you.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, that was something, excuse me, that is concerning.
Yes.
For a lot of Americans. I'm not a paranoid person or anything like that. I do understand we have HIPAA laws and privacy laws and different things like that. Unlike a country like China, and I'm not saying anything negative about China, it's just that, when do we say enough is enough? When do we say stop? When do we make boundaries? When do American people say, okay, this is what we're voting for and this is what we're voting against? When does it happen?
Probably after something bad happens.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because look at Jurassic Park.
Okay.
That's a prime example. I think Jeff Goldblum said it perfectly. He said, just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
True.
And you know, and then other movies, a quote sounds kind of crazy, but with great power comes great responsibility.
But that is a true statement.
Yes, and we have to look at all the aspects. There are people that are, and scientists, and there's things that are going on that we have no idea about.
Okay.
So we're not going to find out until something goes wrong.
All right. Looking on the futuristic end of law enforcement, would you support enhanced police officers?
You know, you talk about like Captain America.
Well, not necessarily like that, but just technology-wise, where police officers would be able to they could run faster. They could do certain things that the average person couldn't do without the access to certain things. Would you support that?
Probably not, because once we're giving that kind of power, then that power, it can be corrupted. Because think about this. I've worked with cops, okay? And I had one supervisor, he's been executed already.
Define executed.
By the state.
Get out of town.
Yeah,
what was that like?
Capital murder. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. This guy was big, he was a Marine, he was tall, he was very strong, and he was by the book, straight guy. He was a supervisor. And I worked with him, and come to find out that he'd killed some people. He committed capital murder, and he went to death row. And
while as a police officer, or
yeah, while he was a police officer, he committed capital murder.
Whoa.
Yeah, and we didn't. I mean, we had no idea. We're all in shock because this guy spit shined, you know, looked perfect every day, followed the law, did reports perfectly. Everything about him was perfect, but something was wrong. So just think about this. You give police officers that kind of power and one becomes corrupted. How are you going to stop that?
Great question. Would you support the revocation of Terry versus Ohio?
Which one? Terry, is that the pat down search?
I believe so. That would be probable cause and reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
For police officers.
No.
Why?
Because when I was training in the academy, okay, you could stop somebody, and if they're suspicious, you could just, say, look, do you have any weapons on you?
Okay.
And they say, no, I don't. Okay, well, I'd like to just check for myself. Safety. That's it. Okay.
And
we did it tons of times. The people who agree, they have nothing to hide. The people that want to start fighting and say, no, you can't touch me, or no. Most of the time when I was out there, they had something on them.
Okay.
Either weapons or drugs, and they didn't want you to find it.
Understood.
And
it makes sense.
We're not looking for drugs, we're looking for weapons.
For your safety.
Exactly. For everybody's safety.
Right.
Because think about this. You stop somebody, you encounter them, they're suspicious. You encounter them, you talk to them, you try to keep it straight. If two cops walked up to you and they saw you're somewhere, they've been called in, somebody said you were suspicious, you're doing something that you normally wouldn't do. We come over there, we talk to you.
Okay.
And we ask, we're trying to be cool. But if you start fighting right off the bat,
it's combative.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if you have nothing on you, then okay.
You wouldn't matter.
Yeah. See, the whole thing is all these people that get on YouTube and they don't want to roll down their window, they don't want to talk. Oh, so and so said I didn't have to show you my license and all that. Those people need to learn state law.
What about this sovereign movement?
That's an old movement.
What are your thoughts on that? Is that something that's still a thing?
They're still around.
Okay.
And, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same token, you live in the country, you drive a car.
It's commerce.
You gotta go to work, you gotta, you might not be paying taxes, okay, that's fine, but, there's things that we have to do in order for society to continue growing and going.
Okay. Because I saw a couple of videos, man, while I was in the academy, and one guy just felt like he was just part of this sovereign thing. Police were trying to, execute a stop, and he just got out and started shooting.
Yeah.
Like why? Do they see police as an enemy?
In the training that I got, they saw everybody as an enemy.
Okay.
And they want to, from my understanding, the training that I received in the academy and beyond was that the sovereign citizen people, they don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay registrations on cars. They want to do what they want to do.
Kind of lawlessness, isn't that?
Well, probably like not even a 1%er. They're probably less than a 1%er, but
okay.
Smaller than that.
Wow.
But society is what it is. And if you don't like a law, don't fight with us on the side of the street. You fight that in court.
Sure.
And it's really important for everybody to understand. You're not going to solve it. It's 2:00 in the morning. You get pulled over. You're on the side of the road, and you want to start fighting or shooting at cops. It's not going to work out well for anybody. And really, and that's another message I wanted to, because I was talking about this with somebody else.
Great.
When I was younger, if you know you're going to do something wrong, own it. Okay? Don't blame your mama or your cousin or your granny or somebody else. If you chose to take that action and rob somebody, shoot somebody, or steal a car, whatever you did, own it. If you're a man, be a man, stand up and own it, and just deal with it. Don't blame somebody else for what you did.
That is a very hard truth for a lot of people to accept.
Yeah. I mean, but, back in the day when I was young, my parents looked at me and said, look, if you do something to get in jail, you're going to have to figure out how to get yourself out, because we ain't coming to pay your bond.
That's exactly what my mom told me. She said, if you ever go to jail because you did something, don't call me.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so we got to get back to that. I mean,
do you think parents have the strength for that?
Actually, and that's one thing that I like to share with a lot of people, especially when I was working in child support court.
Okay.
Parents, you are powerful individuals.
You are.
You are a superhero in the eyes of your children.
You are.
Everything you say, everything you do, everything you don't say, and everything you don't do is going to have an effect on your children for the rest of their lives.
It is true.
And the footprints that you leave for them, they're going to walk in your footsteps. So you have to decide, are you going to become the superhero that your children see you as, or are you going to continue with your evil ways? Because you have the power to lift their lives up and make them the greatest they can be, or you can make their lives a living hell, and it's all up to you. You are the key to your children's success or your child's failure.
Absolutely.
And that's reality.
It is absolutely true.
Okay.
And I was very unaware that you've done any work within the child support court and system. How do you view it?
Here's the thing. When I went in there, the judge would come out and call docket, and then after he called docket, he'd step down, and everybody would go out to the hall and start fighting. I'd have to arrest them, put them all in jail.
Like fist fight?
Yeah.
Get in the court.
Outside the court in the hall.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I was writing reports.
That's like the worst place you could ever.
Yeah, so I'm putting both parents in jail. Who's going to pick up the kids? Okay.
God.
And real quickly I said, yeah, there's got to be a better way.
Okay.
And so what I did is I asked the judge, I said, hey, Judge, can I talk to them before you start? He goes, yeah, and I had to tell him what I was going to say. And so what I did is I gave him the rules of the court, and I told him what's going to happen to them, what they can expect, how we do things, and how they're going to feel. And then I let them ask me all kinds of questions. Because how often is it you have a chance to talk to a masterpiece officer with decades of experience in a relaxed environment where I'm not behind you with red and blue lights going? Okay? This is a relaxed environment.
Point well taken.
Okay? And I would let them ask me anything they wanted to, and I would answer every one of their questions truthfully. Okay, and so we would talk about a lot of things, and then what I would do is I'd look at them straight in their eyes and say, "Look, do you feel like a superhero, or you feel like you're worn and you're busted, can't be trusted?" Okay, and they say, "Oh man, I'm tired. I'm wore out. I can't do this no more."
Wow.
And then I would ask them, "Who looks at you every day and sees a big red cape hanging off your shoulders?" And then you see them start thinking, and they say, "Man, my children do." That's right. That's why I tell these people, every parent that is alive, that's dealing with it, that has a child, and even people who have pets, your pets see you as a superhero.
Your
do. Children
I'm a dog
see you
dad.
your children see you as a superhero. They love you. They want to be exactly like you. So if you ain't no good, your child ain't gonna be no good.
It is
right?
true. Listen, I have a dog. I am a proud dog dad, and she thinks she's one of us.
Yes.
It is absolutely true. She sits on the couch like she's driving a Cadillac.
Yeah.
You know? Seriously. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, like, when in the child support court, how many of those men are actually the father of those children?
Most.
Okay.
There's a few that come back as, like Jerry Springer, "You're not the father."
How does that go?
Well, it doesn't go like the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Because what happens is they can get a DNA test.
Okay.
And most of the time, the DNA test comes out as the father. There's few instances where it comes out as not the father. Now, what happens is that if the person's not the father, then they no longer have to pay support, but they don't get any of their money back.
That is so unfortunate. Why?
Well, and I can share this. I know it bites if you're the man, but the child didn't do anything to deserve this. And so, yes, it cost you money, and yes, you thought that was your baby, and yes, you love that baby, and you did everything you could, but, once, and I've seen some guys, when they find out that's not their child, it actually hurts them.
I could see that.
Yeah, because they've invested so much love in this child. It's not the money. It's all about the
time,
child.
energy, and experience that you've had.
Yeah. And in some of them, they still want to see the child, but they have no right to the child. So,
wow.
Yeah, because once that gets severed, then...
How is it in that situation that a man would not have the right to see the child, but I was told by an attorney, Dennis Sperling, that in the state of Texas, if you could be put on child support for executing fatherly duties, such as taking the child to a baseball game and spending time with the child, you are putting yourself at risk to be put on child support.
That must be new law.
Okay.
So I've been gone for 8 years, 7 years.
Okay. Maybe
7
it's
years.
new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and here's the thing. The laws in the state of Texas change every 2 years.
Okay.
They adapt, they modify to everything that's new that comes into play.
But that's pretty good to know, because a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know that these laws pertaining to child support and stuff like that are constantly updated every 2 years.
All the laws.
All. Okay.
Everything. And they're bringing in new laws about cyber things, electronics.
Yeah, I most definitely can see that.
All of that is coming into play as well. So the laws are expanding.
Okay.
And they're constantly being adapted to new challenges. Like going back to the bail system. When I was there, the bail system kept getting modified, and it came out, it was doing really good.
Okay.
And when they brought in this bail reform, it just it just completely destroyed all the modifications and adaptations that had taken place.
Was that?
What's that?
Whose idea was that?
My understanding is that the law firm that Leslie Briones worked for, this is what I was told by a judge, okay?
Okay.
I don't know this to be fact, but I was told that the law firm she worked for sued the county, and the county went ahead and voted to accept the O'Donnell decree, which is bond reform. And so now it's been, I want to say, abused. It was supposed to be for misdemeanors.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be for people who couldn't pay bond because they didn't have money. So, I come from the ghetto, okay?
Okay.
And so I understand, okay, so you don't have money for bond. But if you're a first time offender, the old way when I was there,
Okay.
if you're a first time offender and you had connections to the city and you had, family and everything else and you weren't a flight risk, they would give you a PR bond, a personal reconnaissance bond.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first timers. Now, the more you get in trouble, you don't qualify for it no more.
Which is fair.
That's fair. That's a level playing field.
Yes.
Because if you're going to keep doing bad stuff,
You're gonna have to.
we're going to have to keep you.
Yes.
Okay? Or you're going to have to pay money to get out. And the more bad stuff you do,
The more it goes
money
up.
you got to pay.
Fair.
That's the way it used to be. Now they're handing out them bonds like candy.
I mean, for someone with a misdemeanor or even a first time, as long as it's, like murder or some ridiculous, heinous crime, I could see that program being for them.
You're right.
But a person that has malice and forethought in executing a crime, I think a lot of people would not want to see them get bond.
Well,
And, unfortunately, they are entitled to bond
Right.
under the law, but still, it's like, this guy, he killed 10 people.
and see, that's a special case. So now with the new laws that came around, the judges have the authority to deny bond,
Okay.
okay, for a case like that.
Okay.
So, sometimes it's a slippery slope.
Okay.
If let's say you got a rogue judge that wants to take somebody who wrote a hot check and deny him bond,
Whoa.
yeah, that's what we have to be careful about.
Do we have any rogue judges in Harris County
Well,
or in Texas?
look at some of what's going on.
What's going on?
That one judge who brought over a death row inmate without anybody knowing and had them go to some clinic.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And that judge was the state of Texas. I forgot if they reprimanded that judge or what, but I can get you the information. It's all over the news.
Okay.
So Judge Cornelio, I don't know what court,
Okay.
but see, here's the problem. And we really need to look at the people running for office and running for judge, because if they bring their own agenda to the bench,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it gets dangerous. Okay?
Yes.
If you're a judge who doesn't like the death penalty and you're in felony, criminal courts, well then you shouldn't be there. Because
It's a conflict of interest.
right, if you don't like it, that's a possibility that a jury will hand down that sentence, and
you have
if
to
you don't
rule
agree
on
with it, that's a big conflict. You should take yourself out of the equation. So we really need to look at who we're voting for, and
Okay.
that's one thing I wanted to tell everybody today. All of y'all, since now you're a superhero, you have the power to make everything the best it can be. You have the power to do your research on all the candidates running for every office.
And that's unfortunate because so many people, they don't know the issues or where a candidate may stand.
Right.
Whether it be a Democrat or Republican, oftentimes they just see the D or they see the R,
Right.
and they say, that's the one.
Right.
Wow.
Here's what I like to share with everybody. Do your research on the candidates. Look at their background. Look at their history. Go watch them speak if you got time. If not, watch them on TV or watch them on your phone because you got a computer right in your hand. And vote for the person that shares your values, that you feel like is really going to do the right thing by you. Okay? Don't give nobody a pass. Don't, because they look pretty on TV. Ooh, that's a good looking man over there or woman or whatever, and I'm gonna vote for them because they look good. No, get somebody and vote for the people that you know are going to represent you, who share your values, who are going to put you first, not themselves and not their friends, because that's the problem we're having. Popularity is fine, but it's not good whenever you get somebody in office that they go rogue and they won't follow the law. That's a problem. As an elected official, you got to follow the law.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. Because as a police officer, you have to enforce the law and follow the law. Whether you like it or not. And if you don't like the law, you got to get somebody or go to the state and get the laws changed. That's what they taught us in the academy.
But it's true.
And that's the way it's supposed to work. We can't decide, on the street or in our office, well, I don't like that, so I'm not going to enforce that. Or I'm not going to live by that law.
Okay.
Because, to me, it goes to all elected officials and like officers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, we took drug tests. We don't drug test our elected officials, do we?
But we need to.
Maybe we should. That's something to be brought up.
That's something.
You want somebody up there making decisions who's, been chewing on some gummies for a while? I mean,
It's something to think about. It is something to really consider. When was the last time someone actually drug tested anybody in those positions?
And alcohol abuse is rampant in some areas too. I mean, it's a hard job.
It is.
I mean, I saw officers who drank a lot.
And that's how they kind of coped. It doesn't make it right.
Right.
But that's kind of how they kind of cope dealing with what they had to deal with every day.
Yeah, because you can't unsee some of this stuff.
This is true.
You've been there, done that. Some of this stuff is horrible.
It is. You see people at their worst.
Yes, and then you see the damage, and then you see the death and destruction and everything else. That's hard to deal with.
It is.
So we need to prop those people up and get them the help they need, even though they're police officers or elected officials. Or
still human.
Let's give them the help they need to try to get them back on track.
Yes.
And but yeah, drugs can be a problem. Alcohol, I know, is a problem because I saw it, during my career, and I saw judges drink too. But
really,
yeah, well,
wow.
But that was a long time ago.
Okay, different world.
Different world.
Different world. Very much so.
It's a different world. So, but yeah, I really want everybody. I want to inspire and motivate you to get inspired and motivated so that you can go and motivate and inspire everybody to go out there, do your research on the candidates, learn the laws, and then talk to people, talk to your friends, sit down and have some dialogue, because these politicians have an effect on everybody. And then it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. I'm conservative, okay? But I was raised that way. In the old days, in the South, everybody was Democrat, okay? But old school conservative JFK Democrat, okay? The big change happened in the 90s. The judges we used to have, they really enforced the laws, and they kept people in jail. They wouldn't let them out. They were all old school Democrat judges.
Okay.
But in 95, they switched.
Wow.
And they said, because I wasn't into politics, I didn't understand, but I was already a cop. I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
But the reality is, you get a lot of people in office that, they run for office, but are actually narcissists. And that's not good. But there's a lot of them in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about them.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm the opposite. For me, it's all about everybody.
Understood.
It's about you and everybody out there. And we need more people. And here's another thing, because I love to see good people succeed. And I believe, and I actually practice this, by lifting everybody up around me, it actually lifts myself.
Correct.
And I do these things because I feel that in the end, when I cross a rainbow bridge, all the good that I did for others, hopefully, will be in my side, and I'll get favor.
Most definitely. Where can people find you?
Look for me online. I've got Facebook, Instagram, and he's got my cell phone number. He's got me on speed dial.
I would never give that number out.
Why? It's everywhere.
It's I know, but I have to do my part in ensuring that people are safe.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people out there that may not have the best intentions for people.
True.
So I like to kind of keep things safe.
You can find me real easy on Facebook, Instagram, internet. Got a website, and if you need me to talk to groups of people, you want me to come out and visit with you, I'll be glad to come out and answer questions, because like I said, I'm not special. I'm not fancy. I ain't pretty, that's for sure. And but I have 30 years of law enforcement experience, 37 years of serving the community and helping other people.
Well, this has been a great show, my dear friend. Very good. I appreciate you coming out for a second time. I'm looking for the third. I'm very glad that we were able to talk about barbecue.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about firearms. We talked about, of course, politics and just who you are as a person. I think people really needed to know that because oftentimes they just see, excuse me, the political person, the political figure.
Well, you want to know more?
What's that?
I'm a car enthusiast, a truck enthusiast, a motorcycle enthusiast. I'm a cycler, so I like to ride bikes.
Really?
And I'm a rollerblader.
Wow.
So, and I'm a DJ and an MC.
A DJ and an MC, rollerblading truckers and cars and more.
So, people go, are you going to block walk? I said, no, I don't block walk, but I will block rollerblade. So if you see me on rollerblades at the, I'll be in a parade maybe.
Okay.
Depending, if I win the primary for the 4th of July parade, you will see me on rollerblades with the '59 Chevrolet Apache. I'll be skating around it.
Well, let's make sure that we see you on these blades, and I will be there to capture that first thing. Yes. Again, my name is Michael Thurville, photojournalist and sociologist here at VEDA World News. This has been an awesome episode. I'm looking forward. You are looking forward. We are looking forward to seeing you again, my dear sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. And superheroes, go out and make the world a better place. Start in your own home first.
Yes, yes. See you guys on the next one.